Hey y'all, Rick Sky here. Welcome back to another live show. Now during today's live show, we're going to have two guests, and just waiting on them to bounce in from on the Skype connection here. So let's see. I've got Let me mute my audio here. Let's see. There we go. 1 2 1 2. There we go. Okay, so using the new live streaming equipment, got a lot of tutorial videos that'll be coming out, to discuss this live streaming setup. So that'll be obviously separate content. Hey, I think I hear somebody joined here. Let's see. Just waiting on Archibald Chesterfield III and Hybrid Life. They're going to dial into the Skype session, and we're going to have them on face on video for this show. So it ought to be really interesting. So I know I fired it up just a few minutes early, and the only reason I did that is because, again, this is brand new equipment, but it is broadcast quality. So hopefully y'all can see me okay and hear me okay. And again, with Archibald Chesterfield III and Hybrid Life coming in, you ought to be able to see and hear them okay as well. But they'll be here in just a minute. And let's see, I'm just adjusting my audio levels. Does everything sound and look okay? Does the video look good? Does the sound okay? Are you getting any sort of echo? There's a little bit of buffering that just came in, and I'm clearing that up right now. I had an online backup kickoff that shouldn't have been backing up, but you know how that stuff goes. At least I remembered to check, huh? Because sometimes that's easy to forget there. Let's see. So here we go. AC3, that's right, RK. AC3, Archibald Chesterfield III will be on this live show from Australia. And then we've got Hybrid Life from Australia. No, I mean from the United States. So it ought to be really interesting. And I'm not going to spoil the fun. I'm going to wait for them to get here because it's going to be an interesting conversation without a doubt. See, I think I'm just going to monitor my email in case Hybrid Life and Archibald Chesterfield III are having any difficulties connecting. Because I got this new setup, and tonight last night I used a product called Uber Conference, and tonight I'm using Skype. You probably all heard of Skype. So basically what will happen, I'm monitoring the Skype room. They're going to dial into the Skype, and then after they connect to Skype, I'll transition the live show over so that everybody sees Hybrid Life, Archibald Chesterfield III, and myself, all in real time on this YouTube live. So that's going to be it's going to be interesting. They should in it. Let's see, and keeping an eye in case either of y'all are watching the YouTube and you're having problems connecting. Just email me, and I'm keeping an eye on my email from my phone. So. And let's see, there goes the congestion. I cleared that up. So let's see. Okay, and the air conditioner in the studio, so if there's any sort of wind noise, that should be done. There we go, sound effects. We got sound effects, man. Okay, and there's the congestion issue cleared up. Great. Fire up, check the email here, make sure they're hunky-dory with the Skype. I've got Skype open in a room that I invited them to. Let's see. I mean, it should be. going to send an invitation again here. Well, actually, no, I already sent that clipboard. XLG, let me see if I did. XLG one here. Yep, so they've got the link in the email that I sent at 5:54 p.m. New York City. So just want them to join, but while they join, we'll go ahead and kick into some stuff here. Let me pull open. You're a podcast show, iHeartRadio, Spotify. I'm a podcast show on iHeartRadio? Let's see. Layla Riley says, you're a podcast show, iHeartRadio, Spotify. So am I on, are you watching me on so you're listening to me from Spotify? Is that right? If that's the case, that is super cool. Because I just connected this broadcast quality equipment. So, yeah, that's awesome if I'm on Spotify. Wow. That's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. I appreciate that. So I'm just waiting on Archibald Chesterfield III and Hybrid Life to tune into Skype. I hope they're not on. I'd used Uber Conference to begin with. I hope they're not on that. Let me just dial into that and make sure they didn't, because that was the original link I'd used was Uber Conference. Just want to make sure they're not, because we're using Skype. No, just waiting for them to join, so shouldn't be too long. Well, and it's like anything else when you're dealing with people, from around the world, and AC3 is in Australia, but hopefully, let's see, we're just going to continue to roll with this show here, and as soon as they tune in, we'll kick them into the show, because I've got my Skype open, so as soon as they dial in, we'll pull them in here. See, I got a message that just came through. I'm going to check this and see. Awesome. Yep. Okay, let's see. So here we go. They're gonna be here in just a minute. So with that being said, we're going to, with these live shows, I like to talk about a little bit of everything. That includes drones, that includes troubleshooting. One of the big components that I'm working on for this channel now is a lot of live streaming coaching. So how to get the best audio, how to configure your Rodecaster Pro, how to connect your Rodecaster Pro to the ATEM Mini Pro, to the ATEM Mini Pro, how to best utilize all of your professional equipment. And those are tutorials that are in progress. This show is actually going to be about watch collecting, and it's something that that Archibald Chesterfield III, AC3 is he's the pontiff. He's the king. If you do any searches online, he's the king of the of the wristwatch community. So he knows everything there is to know about wristwatches. And then Hybrid Life is in the same boat, and so it's going to be. Can't wait for both of them to get on here. It's going to be great. We're just gonna get them on. If there's anyone else out there, if you would like to dial in. Shoot me a message, and I'll shoot you the link. You're welcome to come in face on video. If you want to make a phone call, you're welcome to dial in from if you're able to call the United States, if you're able to call New York, I can give the number to the New York office, and you can dial into the live show if you want to. So, anybody watching, feel free to message me, and and I'll shoot that info over to you. But yeah, lots of good stuff. The biggest thing recently has been getting getting all the audio equipment fine-tuned, and finally I've been able to do that, and it's pretty cool. Again, Layla said that I'm a podcast show right now on Spotify, so that's a pretty big that's a pretty big audience there. So that's that blows my mind that that this show has made it to Spotify. I never would have thought it would have been on. I'm gonna have to check that out. That is super cool. That is super cool. So, yep, just getting everybody in here on Skype, and I'm keeping an eye on my phone. So if AC3 and Hybrid Life, if you're having challenges with Skype, that's perfectly fine. I mean, this show, we've got plenty of time here, so. But I'm excited to get y'all on face on video because, number one, I want to chat with y'all, and the viewers want to see y'all, and then number two, get to test out all of this audio equipment and video equipment. So that's that's super cool. Let's see here. Just checking my Skype. Let me check my emails. Hopefully there's nothing catastrophic that's occurred here. We don't want that. We don't want that at all. We do not. Let's see, just checking email here. Okay, so it's 6:12 p.m. New York City time for everyone that's watching the live show, and we're just waiting on a few guests. But again, if you're in the audience, if you'd like to call in, just type a message, say, hey, I'd like to dial in, and I'll shoot you the New York number to call into this show if you want to, if you're able to call New York. And let's see here. Okay, let's see what else we got. Just checking my messages. Making sure, let's see. Okay. Okay, let's see. Just making sure we don't have. Now, see, right now in Australia, I think it's about 8 a.m. So, it's a time zone difference between East Coast time in the United States and Australia. Probably about I think it's a day difference as well. So that's pretty interesting. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. They're away. They are on their way. So what's going on today? We got a quiet crowd. Obviously anything you type, I can see, and we can we can chat in real time. We're waiting on AC3 Archibald Chesterfield III and Hybrid Life. So just got the studio door open for them. Just waiting on them to dial in here. And I've got I'm got the room open. So again, if there's anybody else out there, if you'd like to join in through Skype or place a phone call and come in by phone, you're more than welcome to do that, because I'd really, it's gonna be a great show to get everybody on here. It's just a matter of everybody joining, and there shouldn't be any technical difficulties. I'm just I planned this show a week ago, so I mean, I know they're going to be here because I booked it around everybody else's schedules, so they should be here momentarily. Let's see. I'm just keeping an eye on messages here.
Hey, Doc. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. No.
Yeah. Okay. So, let's see if they're tuning in a wee bit late. Oh, okay. AC3's on his way. Okay, great. Awesome. We can't wait to see you on Skype. To pull you in. There we go. Oh, great. Okay, so, yep, AC3's on his way in. As soon as he gets here, I'll be patching him in on our live shows. So this is going to be really cool. And I'm not going to introduce AC3 yet. I'm going to wait till he's on. But he's it's going to be interesting. And I really hope that Hybrid Life's able to make it too, because the dynamic among the three, or among the two of them, and then, I guess I would be the third. It's going to be an interesting conversation. So let's see here. We got all this stuff looking good. Oh, that's downloading. Yeah, it's downloading a software update. That's what's going on. Yep, so AC3's on his way in. And we're just, because see, it's only in Australia, in Brisbane, Australia, it's only about, I think about 8:18 a.m. So, it's morning there. So what else is going on? Everybody's really quiet tonight. We got people tuning in, but it's a quiet audience here today. Not that quiet's a bad thing, but it's just it is kind of quiet. Okay, we got more folks tuning in here. There we go. I'm going to mute that. And I've got all my audio set, so that part's good to go. So really, as soon as they get here, all I do is patch them in, and we'll be rocking and rolling here. I tell you, it's amazing with this, while we wait, this audio equipment, that, something as simple as a setting called line in versus microphone in. Okay, we got, AC3's on his way in here. Let's see. Okay, AC3 is here, has joined the conversation. And now I've just got to put him on video. So he's joined the conversation. He's in chat. Do you have webcam and mic? Let's see. He said, "Of course." Of course, he has webcam and mic. So when he gets that up, we're gonna not that he needs an introduction, but we'll introduce Archibald Chesterfield III. He's connecting his mic and his webcam right now. Can you enable webcam and mic? Just saying, I'm asking him if he can enable webcam and mic. Let's see, I'm in chats. Because it should be, or actually maybe I have to, let's see. Oh, here we go, video call. Okay, so I video call right now. Oh, there you are.
Hello.
Hey, Archie, can you hear me and see me?
I can hear you. Can you hear and see me?
Yeah, and the world's about to see you when you're ready. And you ready to go on the YouTube channel?
I'm ready to go now. Let's do it live.
Okay, I'll go ahead and start you with. I'll introduce you. Let's see, just a second here.
Beautiful, man.
I appreciate you joining in. I think Hybrid's going to be joining us too.
No worries.
So
Hybrid, I don't know who the hell he is. Is he important?
Yeah, he actually is. And okay, well, there's let's see. Let me pop us over here on camera 2 here. Almost live. Okay, let's see. Actually, I've got to reposition myself now.
Okay.
I'll have to catch you offline. There's this new broadcasting equipment I found that's really cool. I think you'd love for your.
I use StreamYard. I love StreamYard.
StreamYard is cool. See, my problem
I
is
subscribe to it. I get the extra bits.
Oh, okay. So you've got the big full-fledged thing, man. Okay, so let's see. This should pop up. So let's see both of us now. Okay, so we're live. We've got AC3 Archibald Chesterfield III, man that does not require an introduction, but I'll go ahead and introduce him anyway. So just kind of a quick history of AC3 and how I discovered AC3 on the internet. And this was many years ago. This was back in the early 2000s. I had purchased an Omega Seamaster 300M with a blue wave dial because it was a James Bond watch, and at the time I didn't really know a lot about watches, and I was researching my next piece. I wanted to step outside of just the Seamaster or the Submariner, and almost every search I did on Google, it landed on AC3's page, on his it landed on your YouTube page, and every piece that I purchased since then, and you're actually the reason I bought a Baume & Mercer. I don't know why I did that, and then I stumbled upon your videos, and I'm like, man, that's not a desirable piece, and I sold it, and I always research before I pick up a new piece. I check your content to see if it's desirable or if it's something I should stay away from, and also AC3 invented the wristwatch check. What are you wearing tonight?
Thank you. What am I wearing tonight? I'm wearing my 6 Patek Philippe dress watch, white gold. Elegant. It's 5127G, but if that means anything. But I love this watch more than most people.
Very
Actually,
good.
I love this watch more than 99.999% of people.
There you go. It doesn't have opinions. And I'm wearing the Pam 112 on a rubber, as you would say, rubber strap.
I actually love the 112. That's a very beautiful, just classic Pam.
Well,
Classic.
you're the one that turned me on to this because I wanted to add I like dive watches. I like most of the pieces I have are ones that I can swim with, and
Yes.
you turned me on to this because, and I got it. Actually, I bought it at an AD in St. Martin in the French West Indies.
Oh, I see.
But see, I had to go in there, and I had to do the whole, I had to haggle. So,
Of course.
I walked in and I didn't wear anything nice. I was in a swimsuit, but it was dry, and I wasn't dripping on
It
their
was dry. It wasn't ripping. Hey, man, that's it.
Yeah.
How much discount did you get?
Oh, I got a really, and out of the, we never really want to say prices that an authorized dealer gave, but let's just put it this way: I've called up if I was to sell on the pre-owned market, and it's one I intend to keep. But I haggled, and I knew that was a piece I wanted. They had the other ones. They had some of the new ones that didn't have the, sapphire sandwich dial, and they didn't have the exhibition case back.
Yeah.
And then you get into the ones that are, this is a base model, or I consider it a base model. So it's a reference that you're not paying the inflated premium. You're getting
No, I understand. By the way, I've had a huge revamp. I don't know if you're aware of this. I wanted to make an exclusive announcement on your channel.
Okay.
So let me just tell you the YouTube business. I'm a businessman, okay? That's what I am. I worship money and Patek Philippe. Basically, for me, the saying, because this is a G-rated channel, it's Patek and a certain part of female anatomy that I really do love. That's the meaning of life. That is the meaning of life. Everything else is superfluous. The thing is, I needed to earn it. I wanted to be famous. I needed to be special. So I actually started my YouTube career rather nice, and then I discovered I wasn't getting ratings or views or anything. So I went completely off the deep end, swearing, cursing, it's you name it. And I did that to bring in the audience. And now, IREX guy, now that we're friends, I tell you that I've actually now completely stopped the profanities. I'm still angry. See, you can say things in a very aggressive way without using swear words and getting demonetized. So what I do now, actually, I had to do certain things to get my market share. Now I got the market share. I can clean it up for corporate money. So I'm a complete sellout. That's what I am. I'm a businessman. I'm a businessman. And that's why I'm wearing the suit. Now I'm wearing suits, and I'm promoting second-rate mortgage products, redraw facilities, reverse mortgages, certain brands of European car with known problems, and I'll do anything for money.
A plastic water pump.
Plastic water pump. Plastic water pump. Yes. So I got to tell you, IREX guy, you've always had a clean show. You've gone about it a different way. Me and you, the funny thing is, me and you have had very similar ratings.
Mm-hmm.
On my main channel, the Archie Luxury channel, I had about 50 million views, but I pulled videos which were controversial, so I was down to about 40-something million now. I got 63 or 62,000 subscribers on the Archie Luxury channel. It's very hard. YouTube, I never buy, by the way, I never buy ratings. I never buy views. I never buy subscribers. It's not that I wouldn't consider it. It's just that I always thought, well, I'm always scared of getting them removed. And I like to be honest. If I can't make it honestly, I'd rather not do it. You know what I mean? I don't believe in faking it till you make it. Yeah. I'm not in Amway. I'm not in Amway or any other multi-level marketing product of the moment. I don't want to fake it till I make it. I can give you my figures. If you don't, by the way, I'm just a bit nervous. I'm just caressing. My hobby is ladies' shoes. I love ladies' shoe. This is a beautiful Prada limited edition shoe. I'm just feeling a little bit nervous. I woke up so early. I'm just rubbing the path there.
So what about what do you think with the YouTube?
Yeah.
Because your analytics, because when I found you for the watches, and you know we've kind of gone trended the same way, and you don't. Everything you said, everything you've done is organic. All mine's organic. The only thing I did do AdWords for video. I don't know if you've ever done a paid AdWords for video campaign through Google.
No, did that work?
It does. So like if you've got a video, let's just say it's one of your videos, you look at your analytics, it's one of your heavy hitters, and or maybe you've got a new video and you want to publicize it, you can spend, you know, whatever amount you want to spend, a few $100 or $50, and AdWords for video, basically what'll happen, that will appear within any videos, you know, that YouTube places it in when, you know, people are watching other channels, it links back to you. So it's a great way to.
Yeah. I don't know. I got to be honest with you. I'm an old dog. I'm 48 in October. I don't know if I can be bothered. You know that?
Well, you got to keep trending. I mean, you know, this is a big business, and I'm like you. You know, I'm in it for the money. I mean, well, I'm in it for the entertainment, but I'm in it for the money. And
hey, let me. I didn't think I have 6 Patek Philippe's.
There you go.
I'm not a communist. I'm not a communist or a supporter.
And you're a Trump supporter.
Oh, 100%. I'm at the sign on the wall. 2020. I got to be honest with you. With Trump, I got to be totally honest with you. I read Donald Trump's The Art of the Deal in high school.
Yeah.
I've been a massive Donald Trump fan. Actually, the funniest thing is, I don't know if you've actually seen this. Just hang on, I'm just ordering a coffee. Please bring me a coffee. I'm just organizing some beverages. I might just make a quick call. Just hang on there.
Cool.
And just organize a beverage. They're not answering. I've got staff who are. Oh, they're not answering. Okay. Look, what I wanted to say was, you know, we're talking there. This is a business. It's very much a business. I try my best. It's a very interesting business. See, the thing is, the Googles have changed so much over the last 10 years. I've seen certain channels. I started off luxury goods and watches. I moved into other things. And I've got to tell you, those other things have become a little bit dangerous type topics. So I've very much backed out of them. MG Toe that's a toxic subject now. But that was so popular at one stage. Unfortunately, a lot of MG Toe channels were demonetized, which I think is unfair because the whole thing about YouTube was that it was as long as it wasn't hate speech. I must admit, the Ku Klux Klan, you can get rid of those losers. I've got no time for racism or, you know, weird morons, you know. But someone who's MG Toe's kind of hilarious. I mean, could you, I don't know about you, I couldn't survive 6 months without a woman.
There you go. No,
you know,
yeah.
You know, I mean, I love women. And I don't think all women are bad. Not all women are good. Not all women are bad. But there's some. I love MG Toe content. One of my favorite channels is Coach Red Pill.
Okay.
He's a very, very nice academic. He talks. I like Jordan Peterson. There's a lot of things. I'm a huge YouTuber. I actually don't have a TV. I just watch YouTube, and I got Netflix. I did subscribe to Netflix, and I got to tell you the truth. There, I'm really gearing up my business. No more swearing now. People thought that was terrible. I've removed the swearing. How could I cope? Well, I'm afraid to tell you this. When I used to swear a lot, the video was not monetized. I've wasted my time doing it.
Right.
I've done it for free. Why would you do that?
Well, what you did though, you had a brilliant model because that captured buzz, so you bumped your subscriber count up because of that.
Yeah, it's not that high. My subscriber count, you know,
You're in the 60s, aren't you? The mid 60s or high 60s?
So many people cheat, but there's new watch channels that have over 150,000 views, and they've only been going for 2 years, and
Well,
they've bought it all.
some of those though, and I've researched a lot of those, and I can speak about your competitors, without
Sure.
if you want to chime in, you can. Teddy Baldessare, his thing is, well, he's connected with the guy from Shark Tank, Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah, I love Mr. Wonderful, by the way.
Yeah, he's good, and I think and I'm not, by no means am I implying that he's bought views, because I don't think that's the case. But when you're connected with a big name celebrity like that, I mean, obviously
Yeah, but
your channel.
he had huge views when he wasn't connected with Kevin.
Right.
Okay.
And then he connected with Kevin O'Leary, and it just amplified it.
Yeah, but he had huge views before then. I think they're a bit suspicious, to be honest with you. The other channel was TGV. I know people who were in partnership with him, and they told me he was buying views. This was his plan. Okay, there's a guy called Craig Teal Jones. He was actually that channel, the Urban Gentry, was actually a combination of Craig Teal Jones and TGV. And he told me they had a fallout over to buy or not to buy. And I got to be honest with you. There's a great movie. One of my favorite movies is Margin Call with Jeremy Irons.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a really good one.
And he goes, "There's three ways. There's three ways to win or do things. Number one, be first. Number two, be smarter. And number three, cheat. I don't cheat." That's the great line, and I love that line. He goes, it's damn well faster just to be first out the gate. and I got to tell you, look, seriously, I don't want to cheat. I don't want to buy views. I don't want to do things. I'm trying to now clean up my act. No more swearing, and I can say very aggressive things without having to drop F-bombs or C-bombs. Or it's actually quite fun. That I actually enjoy the acting in my videos. I really do enjoy that. People can they think you're serious. The big thing with my channel is no one knows what's real and what's acting.
Right.
And that's the biggest compliment. They say, I don't know, is he real? Is he insane? I've had some very good things happen to me in my life. Let me tell you what's happened from YouTube. I have a racehorse named after me called Archie Luxury.
Yeah.
A fan did that. I have had a professional rock video produced. I have met a billionaire. I got paid to meet a billionaire for his birthday in Indonesia. Several 100 million people worth 100 million. That doesn't even count anymore. I've met so many people. I got to tell you, honestly, I've been flown business class. I do a bit of consultancy work, what people should buy investment-wise in watches. I got to tell you, I've had $1,000 whiskey, $200 whiskey. When my birthday came when I was 40, my channel was still young. My parents and family gave me $50 whiskeys. My fans sent me $200 whiskeys.
Wow.
Obviously, my fans are more important than my family now. You know what I mean? I've ditched them all. They can all go. And I got to tell you, seriously, I've really enjoyed my YouTube journey. The thing is, you've always got to be aware with YouTube, it could end tomorrow. Like, I'm scratching at a living, but I think the big secret is if you're doing, like, I'm making a full-time living out of it. I think the big secret is don't ever be cocky and think this could last forever. As soon as you think that, you're doomed. You've got to say, look, this could end tomorrow. Like, all that happens is they demonetize your channel. You're no longer earning any money, and you're ficus. Ficus, that's my new F word. Ficus. You're ficus. I'm ficus. That's from what's his name? That Canadian Columbine, Bowling for Columbine. Mike Moore. Ficus. He wanted to get the ficus to go for Parliament.
Speaking of
honestly,
that, man,
I tell you honestly. Oh, hang on 1 minute. My coffee's here. Thank you. Just 1 moment. Thank you. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. There we go. I just had a coffee delivery there. That's Uber Eats. I would like to thank Uber Eats for Uber Eat deliveries. I'm available. Uber Eats.
That sounds good. So yeah, you've
I'm
got.
just joking. I wasn't actually paid by Uber Eats. I'm just teasing.
Hey, you
But
never know.
that's what could be available. If you're from Uber Eats and you think that could be a great product placement, contact me at archieluxury72@gmail.com. archieluxury72@gmail.com.
There you
Uber
go.
Eats.
And like you said, just if
Or Emu Eats. Emu Eats.
Emu Eats.
Hey man, I gotta tell you, you gotta be fun.
Yeah.
And I think in my case there, you've gone out and leased the Audi A8.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you, man, no, seriously, for me, I don't have any. Haven't leased a car. I've tried to keep my expenses relatively conservative, okay? Because I always do think that it could end tomorrow and I'd do something else. I would drive for Uber, drive taxis. I would be a fast food server. There's many jobs that I could easily slot back into. My IT career is shite. My IT career is gone. No one will employ me. Just Google my name. I'm toxic poison.
So if it all went away, I mean, outside of YouTube, you got Patreon. Do you do any affiliate like with eBay or Amazon?
Look, I got to be honest with you. I'm pretty lazy as well. I have got Patreon. Patreon, very, 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 that is very good for me. Just between you and me, I make about 100 Australian a year.
That's really good.
Okay, that's about, what's that? 67 American.
Probably somewhere around there. Yeah.
Okay. So my Patreon's about 10,000 of that. My Googles are probably about 60, and I got paid watch reviews, which pays the balance. Now, the other thing is, you got to remember, okay, that's my gross, because every time I jump on a jet plane, guess what, Mr. Taxman? That's a deduction because I'm getting content. See, what you've got to do in your life is, it's not how much money you earn. Like 67,000, to be completely honest with you, for the effort I put in, is peanuts. However, if I've structured my tax affairs, I'm seeing, I want to travel. That's what I want to do. Okay? I want to travel and see, how do I put this without my marital status getting even more stuffed? But I'd like to visit other ladies. I don't mind a little bit of outsourcing, okay? Okay, let's just put it at that. So, I like to travel to exotic lands and meet new people and have intimate moments, okay? You can read into whatever you like there, intimate moments. And I got to tell you, it's all a tax deduction. I bought a camera. I bought a Nikon 750, 100% tax deduction. I do the things like my Patek's on a deduction, because if I claimed my Patek's as a deduction, I'd have to declare the capital profit. You can't have it both ways. I just keep that separate. But I got to be honest with, by the way, if your Mr. Burglar is watching, I have CrimSafe security screens. CrimSafe keeps me safe in hard times. Actually, all my watches, I only have one at home. I've got the other 5 in my bank safe.
I do the same thing. That's the only way
I
to do
use
it.
the Commonwealth Bank. The Commonwealth Bank, Australia's leading bank with one of the biggest safety deposit box facilities in the Asia-Pacific region. The only bank with a double fire-rated 3-foot steel door. Did you know that?
I did not know that, but I learned it tonight.
Look, I got to tell you, IRIX guys, seriously, for me, I want to share a quote with you, okay? Okay, this is from Audrey Hepburn. How shall I sum up my life? I think I've been particularly lucky. I was in this early. I've done a few businesses I did really well out of. I'm not a multi-millionaire, okay? I'm probably, in Aussie dollars, $1 million. So what's that, 600,000-700,000 US? It's okay for a 48-year-old guy who just makes YouTube videos. I'm okay. I'm comfortable. I'm not super rich. I must admit, I've met a lot of super rich people, and I don't know if super rich money really makes you that happy. I'm actually happy in my own life. I'm actually very happy in my own life. I think the biggest, Oscar Wilde said, the biggest injustices in life is not getting what you want. And the second big injustice is getting everything you want.
Hey, Archie, we got Hybrid Life here. He says the link's not working. Let me shoot it over to him again. And by the way, he found my watch advice, which was a product of your watch advice. So it'll be interesting when he dials in to tell you about. Yeah, I mean it's a chain, man.
What does he do? What does he do? What sort of channel does he run?
It's the Hybrid Life. Let me forward this to him. We'll get him on here.
We'll get him on. Get him on.
Yeah, he's coming in. But what was cool about that, and Hybrid Life, you're in the chat, so you're hearing us right now. I'm re-forwarding you. We're on Skype instead of Uber Conference. So dial into Skype, and I'm re-forwarding it to you.
So you're going to post this on your channel later, aren't you?
Yeah, it'll become a video on the IRIX guy. So feel free to share it, and obviously any of the videos that you're in, I mean, pull out of them, do whatever you want to. I mean, I give you full permission.
Thank you, man. Because what I would do is I would actually upload it to my channel and link it to your channel.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
That's what I do, man. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I've had a good friendship with you. I've honestly, IRIX guy, I got to tell you honestly, you are a salt of the earth good guy. Me and you are both in it. We were previously in IT fields.
Yes.
And I got to tell you, I've always loved your clean cut, clean speed. I love your southern drawl.
Appreciate it.
And I got to say, you are a really nice guy. Really, really, really honest, nice guy. And there's a lot of ego in YouTube. You meet a lot of people who have massive egos, and I've been burnt. But I got to tell you, IRIX guys, the entire time I've known you, you're a really cool guy. And I'm really happy that I know you.
Well, let's see, no, that means a lot, man, and I appreciate that. I thought that was a pop-up from Hybrid Life joining Skype.
No, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's okay.
Yeah, he's going to join.
But I got to say, this YouTube business, it's very hard. You know, I love YouTube. I feel very sad that many things have changed there. I think they're too much censorship is not good. I don't think you should have the Ku Klux Klan on, but I really think too much censorship is bad, and I'm rather, I got to be honest with you. What else is there besides YouTube? Is there anything else? Like Vimeo never really took off.
There is. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at my monitor to see if Hybrid Life's in.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he hasn't dialed in yet. I'll have to share with you this broadcasting thing offline, but yeah, Vimeo hasn't catched on. Vimeo hasn't caught on. You know what I've looked at, and again, that's why I was pointing to this shirt. If you go to Amazon and search for IRIX guy, you'll find these shirts. You need to get into merchandise.
Yeah, look, I did a bit of merchandise, and it sold a little bit, but the problem is those merchandise companies take so much of the profit, you get pennies in the dollar. You know what I mean?
But here's the thing, it's completely hands-off. Like these shirts, for example, you go to Amazon, you can buy them, women's, men's, different colors. They print to ship, and there's no inventory. You don't have. It's totally hands off. So
no, IRIX guy, you're 100% right. That's why I'm cleaning up the corporate image.
Yeah,
I'm actually starting to get some. One of my big sponsors at the moment is David SW. David SW. If you need a good wristwatch, you don't want to pay brand new prices. The best dealer I recommend is David SW. David SW. David SW. David SW. He's actually been a great supporter of mine.
So what your old ones? And I won't drop the names of the companies, but I know.
No, please feel free to mention them. I never have bad terms with my previous supporters. There was Jewelers on Time.
Yeah.
Kenny Nguyen. He look. It worked for a while. He wanted to then stop the advertising. Hey, I'm not angry at him. Why would I be angry at him? He tried it, right? It brought him customers. He wanted to change a bit. There's nothing, man.
Yeah.
You can never be angry at previous sponsors. He helped me for so many years. In my infancy, he helped me every month. It wasn't a lot of money I was getting from him, but I tell you what, it really helped at the time. So I got Kenny Nguyen. He's a smaller dealer. David SW is much bigger. David SW is probably the #1 seller in America. I'm no bullshit. I'm just telling you honestly.
Yeah.
Kenny Nguyen. I love Kenny Nguyen. I pick it up at the phone. He'll take my call. Kenny Nguyen's a cool guy. I have no animosity. Previous sponsors, man, you guys have made me successful. I don't begrudge any of you guys.
So, and kind of the reason I was asking that, because a lot of those sponsors, the previous sponsors, you've embedded their ads within your videos. They never asked you to take your old videos down because you have their ads in them, do they?
No. They like that. That's free advertising for them.
Okay, good. Well,
why would you do that?
Well,
that's free advertising.
See, and that's why I've kind of strayed away from that, because I'm obviously approached by a lot of people, and I'm always hesitant to embed their ads within my videos.
I got to be honest with you. If you get the wrong people involved, it does damage your channel. Like, I've been very selective who I do take on. I've had people come to me and I've said no.
Okay. Yeah, and that
I've also get a lot of placements. People give products and I say, you know, this product is really garbage. And I've had a lot of products where I've said this is crap, and that doesn't go down too well.
When it's, you know, and it's.
But what do you want me to say? The whole reason people watch me is because I am a buffoon, and I do, you know, I used to swear a bit and I carry on, but I was honest.
No, you've always been honest. And I mean, all your advice. I mean,
and I also change opinion. I might have an opinion one week. Then a couple of months later, I come back and say, hey, I was wrong. I was an idiot.
Yeah.
I did it on Pam. I said I'd never buy a Pam. Then I fell in love with Pam. And you know what? That's life's journey. You don't have rigid. I think life is it's not black and white. It's shades of gray.
There you go. You had the submersible.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The Pam 24, which I must say I sold it and I lost $1,000. They're very hard to shift.
Yeah, they're not. And like I said, if I didn't haggle, like I
would have got a 111 or a 112 if I was buying another one.
Yeah, and this is the one I'm keeping, the 112, and it's the only Pam I'm going to get.
Yeah, I wouldn't stock up. You should get Rolex. If you want to buy something and stock up, get Rolex.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I love Breitling. Another brand I love is Breitling, but Breitling is soft and toxic. Well,
and you know what's interesting, you mentioned Breitling. I picked up the last time I was in, and I bought it at an authorized dealer, but I mean, you got to if you see me haggle, you would know why I buy at ADs. I'm within $400 on pre-owned market value of what I paid for that brand new from the AD. I got the Super Ocean Heritage 242 blue ceramic.
I love the Super Ocean Heritage. That is one of my. You've got the Series 2 or the Series 1?
The Series 2 is ceramic with blue.
Yeah, the only thing that annoys me with the Series 2 is it's got the Tudor movement in it.
It does, yeah. The B was it the B20?
It's got the ceramic. I prefer the aluminum. It's supposed to be vintage.
Mm-hmm.
But I know. Look. It's no win. But that watch, I actually had that watch. You know, if I could get back just as a discount diver.
Yeah.
Breitling Super. The 42 is the best size. The 46 is too big. I think the 42, even though, you know, I'm a big guy, 42 is absolutely perfect. They even had, I don't know if you know this, they had a 38. Did you know that?
Well, yeah, I did. I didn't know that. I knew they had a 44 because when I got my...
They had a 38. It was actually in the Series. It wasn't a Series 2, and it was more of a ladies' watch.
Yeah. Yeah, 38.
But it was unisex. It could go, you could swing either way.
38's kind of, you know, and like for me, I can wear a 39, but anything smaller than a 39 is just not good.
Well, it's all relative. Like this Patek I'm wearing here, that's 37, which for Patek, this came out in the mid 2000s. That was considered jumbo size, but it's a dress watch. It's a different genre. Sports watch, I think, you know, 40 mil is a good sort of start. But for Pam, I had a friend who had a 42 mil Pam. It looked too small. I think 44 mil for Pam is what you need.
Yeah, this is 44. I couldn't go, to your point, I couldn't go with a Pam that was, but then my Submariner 114060, 40 millimeter, and it's perfect because it wears kind of larger than the 40, I think.
Yeah, no, I completely get you. But Irix guy, I want to say, man, you know what I love about your videos? One of my favorite videos is how to take cheap booze onto a cruise. That was so cool. I've never actually been on a cruise, but I want to. Well, this is pre-COVID. Now with COVID, I don't know if I
Yeah, don't
want to
do
do that.
it.
The whole cruise industry, I think, is in big trouble. Okay, and I got to tell you, your videos. What I like about your videos is you're very clean cut. You know, you're very honest, nice, very good manners. I love your manners. Uh, that's what Americans do well. They're very polite. I think some Americans are nasty, but a lot of Americans are very, very polite, well-mannered people. And that's what I love about you. You're a great ambassador to your country.
Appreciate
And
that.
that's a huge, huge plus there. Um, I gotta tell you, that's the way it goes. Now, Irex, I gotta shoot off, man. I love you. Thank you for this interview, and
Thanks for joining,
we'll
man.
catch up in the next one.
Definitely, and I've got some hardware stuff I want to shoot over to you, man. That may
No
help with
worries.
your production stuff.
Thank you so much.
Cool.
See you later.
Thanks for joining. Have a good one. Okay, I'm back, and let's see. That was Archibald Chesterfield III from Australia, and man, Hybrid Life's on here. He said it's not working. Oh, he said the link is not working on his iPad for Skype. So, what I was hoping that would have happened, I was hoping that we would have had because, and I'll go ahead and tack this on. This adds value. By the way, AC3 Archibald Chesterfield III. It was shortly after, well, it's about 8:56 a.m. in Australia where he is. But what I was hoping was going to happen, and in Hybrid Life, I'll go ahead and throw this in lieu of your iPad Skype not working. And by the way, Hybrid, if you want to troubleshoot, or if you got a desktop or whatever, try to dial in now. And I can, I'll be happy to try to troubleshoot. I'm going to bring the Skype app over to my main screen. So I'm not, because I was having to share that screen for AC3 on the thing. But yeah, it says 3 participants. See, I had to do I did video call. So once you're in the room, you should be able to join video call. But it's the room link. So, if you're there and if you can try it, that'd be great. But I'll go ahead and throw out for the viewers what, this show had the Skype and everything work for all of us, for the 3 of us. What I wanted to do was go through, because see, AC3 Archibald Chesterfield III, he's kind of the watch expert. If you're researching watches, this, that, and the other, he's the expert in the field. And what was interesting is that Hybrid Life stumbled upon one of my videos, and I think it's when I got I think I was in the Cayman Islands, and this was back early 2000s. I was in the Cayman Islands, and I'd bought in Grand Cayman, I'd bought a Submariner, and obviously the first thing I did after buying it was take it out in the ocean and swim with it, because, it's meant, it's a piece that's meant to be swim with. So, that's the first thing I did, and Hybrid Life stumbled upon that video, and then that helped him, with, wristwatch advice. And, that was just, something that I had picked up from AC3 that was just on, because he knows the stuff inside and out. I mean, prior to watching, videos from AC3, my wristwatch knowledge is pretty much, okay, there's Omega and there's Rolex. I didn't realize there's a lot of other stuff out there. But, watching his videos is a great form of education. And, then I posted some videos, and it's funny to see, you got AC3, kind of the older dude in the field. I think he's probably around 50. And then you've got me, I'm around 40. If I guess, Hybrid Life's probably, late 20s, early 30s. So, just kind of seeing chain of knowledge transfer is really cool. And, but yeah, that would have been cool if we could have if all three of us could have made it, because and we can do this again. I mean, it's not a one and done. So we can definitely try it again. But that was kind of my plan with this show. And the other thing was, I mean, just that this live streaming equipment, I've been able to put it all together, everything to my understanding. And correct me if I'm wrong from a viewer's perspective. Maybe y'all have had a different experience as a viewer, but I think the audio and the video should have been on point throughout. And being able to use this new technology and not have to put an excessive amount of thought into it, that's been great. I've been able to sit down and fire up the live stream and go through bringing in guests and this, that, and the other. And I've also got the ability now, you can call my New York office and I can patch you in by way of telephone. So if you want to be, maybe you're not into face on video, been on a camera, been on a live show, you can join by way of phone. So that's a feature that I've got available on my on my live stream now. So, but yeah, it's interesting to have these live shows. And I know AC3's he's going off. He's got one of his shows on his channel. He's probably gonna do a live stream right now. He's got a big audience that watches, and he's got a big audience that also likes to be part of the live shows. So, that's the direction I want to go. I haven't been live show heavy in the past, but because of the current situation with the COVID, I've had more time to this stuff's staying in my mouth, man. I've had more time to research and, better determine, what's next for my channel. I improve the audio, I improve the video. What's next as far as making it, making the channel more interactive for everyone. So one of the things I'm going to work on is a more structured, and when I say structure, structure is kind of a dangerous word, because when you say structure, it implies, oh man, you think of structure, you think of something that's well, you better not step outside the boundaries, and that's unacceptable. I always want Hybrid Life said he's 27. That's cool. So you got 27, you've got me, I'm almost 40, and then you've got Archie that's almost 50. So Hybrid, if you can join, man, if you can join into Skype, and you don't have to be face on video, just dial in. Hybrid said I had to switch to my phone, and now Skype is downloaded. Disappointment. No, dude, go ahead and dial in, and we can chat, and then maybe if you got time, I know it's 7:02, but if you want to dial in, yeah, he said he'll be on. Yeah, dial in, and we'll do that. It would have been cool if all three of us were on, but hey, man, that doesn't matter, because at least it'll be part of this live show. And yeah, 5 minutes is fine, man. Take your time. But yeah, all three, I think it would be really cool. And I think, going forward, if we can find, a lot of people of similar interest, because this show, I was thrilled to have, to have the Pontiff, AC3. He's, but I mean, just to have, my goal as a host for this show is to have, him being the senior, the 50-year-old, me being the kind of middle dude that, a lot of his watch knowledge was acquired from AC3, and then Hybrid Life that came in, younger player on the scene, happened to stumble upon my video, and obviously my video was my own content, something I created and swam with it and this, that, and the other. But, just to show how my interest in the hobby of watch collecting was elevated because of watching AC3's videos, because I found him on Google, man. I was searching for any wristwatch, and he came up for almost any wristwatch that I was searching for. So, I mean, this guy, he had content across the board. And, and likewise, with Hybrid Life, Hybrid Life was searching for Submariner, and he stumbled upon one of my videos. So I thought that was super cool. Hybrid, while you're joining, I'm going to grab something really quick. I'll be right back, everyone. Just a second here. I'm going to put music on while I wait. I'll be right back. Oh, yeah. What's the number? Let's see. I've got, let's see, I put it in an email for you, man. It's actually a Skype link. Let's see, do you want to dial into Skype or do you want to call in? Let's see. As the Skype link, I put in an email. You should, if you join into that, then I can patch you in. If you want to be voice only through Skype, you can, or you can do face on video, doesn't matter. But if you want the number too, I can do that. Let's see. I've got the sound effects board here. Let's see. What's the call-in number? I'm forwarding you the call-in number right now. It'll be just a second here. I'm getting that for you. Let's see, copy, and I'm going to shoot it over to you in email. Email coming right now, Hybrid Life. Okay, subject line, call in, and boom, there it goes, man. It's on its way to you, so you should be getting an email with a call-in number. And this phone right here in the studio is what I'll answer, and we'll see how this works with the call-in number. It ought to work great. The production team here said everything's good, so. Okay, everyone, so Hybrid Life is tuning in here. It's be ringing in here in just a second. Let's see. Okay, it's ready for you now, man. If you just called and got a voicemail, it's ready for you now. Let's see. And I've got that. Yep, that audio is set, so we're good with that. That ought to be good. See, 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. Okay. Yep, so Hybrid Life's going to call in to the studio. I tell you, I'm loving this studio equipment, and I've got some stuff that I'll be tutorial content I'll be putting out, because this stuff is very powerful, but it's got a learning curve to it, which is fine. Let's see, so Hybrid Life's coming in here. Let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, I muted that. There we go.
In your face, sucker!
I think that's kind of loud. Let me see.
Call from. To accept, press 1. To send a voice.
Hey, man, you're on the air.
Oh, great. Perfect. Yeah. So I download. So when you sent me that link, I didn't realize I had to download Skype. So then I downloaded it onto my iPad, which took forever. And then the link didn't want to work. So then I switched to my phone, and now my Skype is still loading. So I watched the whole video trying to join without being able to join. So it's such a disappointment.
Well, hopefully everybody can hear us right now. Send a text out on the channel to see if everybody can hear you. I'm using this new, it's this, and I'm going to do some videos about it, but this new podcasting equipment. And basically you're jacked right into the Rodecaster Pro. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man. But yeah, that's cool. I'm glad you're here. And I was just hoping that in the technology, that's just how technology works, man. But it would have been so cool to have, to have you and Archibald at the same time. But with that being said, Hybrid Life, go ahead and tell us about your watch collecting journey, and, tell the viewers about, what motivated you to become interested in it. How did you start researching it? Why did you stumble upon the references that you picked up, so forth and so on?
Yeah, so I first was interested in the Rolex Submariner No Date. Just always liked the watch, always liked the look of it. And I never really knew how much it was, like, could I afford it? I never knew much about Rolex. I think everybody knows how popular Rolex is in the mainstream as far as the different types and things like that. I never was too into watches. As I was an undergrad in college, I happened to stumble into a jewelry store, and they sold Rolexes. And I saw one, and the guy came up to me and he asked me if he could help me, and we started talking about watches. And I said, well, I like that No Date Rolex Submariner. And when I got the watch, I actually came back a couple days later because I was looking up, what the No Date Submariner was about, and that's when I came across your video. But believe it or not, when I bought that watch probably 5 or 6 years ago, I got it at a discounted price relative to retail. I think retail on that watch is $7,500. Well, I had paid about $6,450 for that watch, and that's kind of what got me going with the watch collecting. So
yeah, and it's funny, the watch collecting thing now has changed so much, because and obviously I'm older, I'm almost 40, and you said you're 27, but in AC3's,
right.
50. So, when I was starting out, the Rolex was always kind of on, in the higher end of the price scale, but in the past few years, it's just gotten off the charts. I mean, they've, because of whether it's real manipulation or real shortage or whatever. I mean, who knows what's driving the price. I mean, it's inevitable that, even non-watch collectors, they see the name Rolex and they think that's the best watch to have. And I think
Right.
that's driven it up a lot too. But I mean, now it's just gotten to where the prices are just out of the. Andrea says the volume's low on his end. Let me bump your volume up, Hybrid Life.
Okay.
Thanks, Andrea. Yeah, she said the volume's low. So yeah, I mean, it's just. Let me see. Let me bump it up. Let me bump it up a little bit more. There we go. Can you hear us okay now, Andrea? But yeah, it's I mean, it's gotten too expensive now. If I hadn't bought my Submariner when I did in the early was it early 2000s, or I can't remember, 2013 maybe. I bought it in the Cayman Islands, but like you said, I walked into the authorized dealer and I didn't go in there too raggedy. I had a dry swimsuit on. But I didn't want to go in there and look like I had any money or whatever.
Right.
But I didn't want to stink, like I've been on the beach all day. So I think I had a good balance. And I went in there, and obviously I had reached out to them before I headed down. I said, I was interested. The no date's what I wanted, and that's what I got. But again, this was before all the shortage and all of that. They had the Hulk, they had the Batman, they had, they even had Daytonas. And I mean, as a collector nowadays, that those pieces you're not going to find in an AD unless you're lucky or you're on a list.
Right. Yeah.
And
yeah, I have a relationship with an AD, and I'd been able to get a Sea Dweller 50th anniversary, the Hulk, and then the Batgirl, which I just got last week.
oh, that's a cool one on the Jubilee.
Yeah, I thought it was really nice. I'm gonna send you a picture.
Mm-hmm.
Well, next time I'm on the live show, I could wear it, but I just got that last week, so that's what I've been wearing lately.
Do you have any friends
at
that watch collect, or are you kind of the wild card? I mean, are you?
Yeah, just because of my age, it's tough to have a lot of my friends that get into that level. So I don't have a lot of friends that collect watches, but I have a lot of friends that are interested in collecting watches.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that will change in the future once, a lot of them are still in college, graduate school, and law school. So.
Well, what would be cool for a future show if we could get, because AC3, I mean, he runs a lot of shows, but if we could figure out a time, I think it'd be really cool to have you, have like someone that wants to get into watches, they've got the career path, the lawyer or doctor or whatever, where they're able to do that, and just kind of have that dynamic, have, AC3 is a guru, me as the host of the show, kind of in the middle, by no means a guru, but I mean, you know what I mean? I think that would be a really cool live stream.
Oh yeah, 100%. And we don't need to only talk about expensive watches. I mean, we can talk about entry-level watches, just everything,
Yeah.
People think to collect watches, you need to buy all these expensive watches. That's not true. Some of my watches that are $200 or $300 get more compliments than my Rolexes. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, and it's funny you say that. I mean, I get actually the most compliments I get off of the Super Ocean Heritage 2 42 millimeter blue. You're familiar with that, aren't you?
Oh yeah, the Breitling.
Yeah, and I picked that up, and that's I think that's a piece. I mean, it's not a price point that's I mean, it's accessible for a lot of people, but I think it's one that's really going to over time, I think it's really going to appreciate. I think it's really, really good bang for the buck right now.
Oh yeah, your Omega is a great watch. I like that one a lot.
That one, man, and that's
relatively inexpensive.
Oh, dude, I got that, and this was I don't know if I shared this with you on the last live stream, but that was my first real watch. Andrea said the audio's better now. Your volume's by the way.
That's good.
And when I got that 300M Omega, and that was pre-coaxial, it's got the blue wave dial. I bought it, and that would have been back probably right around 2000. And I mean, it was nothing. That piece, looking at pre-owned prices from what I paid for it new, it's appreciated. The average is about 157% from what I paid for it new. So I could sell it used right now for for right around 157% more than I paid for it brand new from the authorized dealer.
Wow.
But now if that had been Rolex, that percentage would have been a lot higher.
Oh yeah.
And that's that's linked to their, I think, to their marketing. But yeah, man, we need to I think there could be some really cool conversations. I mean, I've got the ability now, just so you know. I mean, obviously you're on the phone. I can do the phone, and then I can do Skype with up to 100 participants.
Well, yeah, I mean, part of it was my fault. I mean, I wasn't thinking that I needed the app. I saw your email that you said click the link 10 minutes before the show, and then when I click the link, it's making me download the app, and I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi or what's going on, but my phone and my iPad just took so long to download. I don't know if it's the app in particular, if that's just a app that takes long to download, but I mean, what an unfortunate thing. Because I was looking forward to that too. I love watching AC3's videos. He's a great watch guy. And having us three on, I was like, of course that would happen, Murphy's Law, right?
Yeah, and it did, and it was funny. He came, he was a little bit late because he had an issue with it, and he came on, and I was just going to crack up, man. That dynamic was going to be so, but hey, at least you made it on.
That's, in some form I did.
Yeah, you made it on with the phone. So, yeah, let's definitely let me know. I mean, I've got a good AC3 and I go back and forth. I mean, he's a businessman. I'm a businessman. We're both in, YouTube for, well, it's passion. It's passion for me, but it's money,
Yeah.
And he's in the same boat. So, I mean, if we can, if we could find a good, and the thing is, in the real world, dude, I don't have people, even in my demographic, around 40. I don't have a lot of people that are big watch collectors. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I feel like it's a unique group of individuals, especially with the watches nowadays just going ballistic in price.
Oh yeah, I mean it's unattainable for most, and it just makes me happy that being older, 20 years ago when I was starting to build a collection, that I got good stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I just hope that my watches that I recently had purchased they maintain their value, because there's sort of like a bubble going on right now, and with the economy and how it looks, how I like to talk about the economy, but I feel like the watches might go down in value.
Well, you know what you were saying about gold and silver. I've noticed gold and silver's gone up a little bit.
Yeah, and let me tell you, you've seen nothing yet, because what's going to happen in these gold and silver mining stocks they're going to shock everybody. So that's just my opinion. I don't recommend buying anything without learning about the stocks, but in my opinion, based on the research I've done, I think that we've seen nothing yet. So I see gold and silver going many, many multiples higher.
And I think that's a realistic assumption, man, because it's, I mean, the times we're in. Now, let's see, all your pieces, you said you got them at AD's new, right?
Yeah, I've always bought at AD's, and I plan to always do so. I just don't want to deal with buying used and seeing if it's a fake or this or that. I could tell if it's a fake. I hope so. Some of these 1-to-1 replicas are pretty scary.
Oh yeah, especially with the Hulk. There's some of those that are, the replicas that are, $800-900 or whatever that are, unless you really know that thing inside and out. I mean, they're even down to the LEC, the laser etched crown at the bottom.
Wow.
I mean, they're that good. They're that convincing, rather. Now, obviously, if you have a watchmaker pull the case back off and look at it, there's some finishing issues and that sort of stuff that stands out immediately. But for your average buyer, you know, a lot of those, like you said, those 1-for-1 replicas, I mean, they're hard to, you know, pull out.
Yeah, I mean, if I saw somebody walking with a Rolex replica on that was a 1-to-1 replica, there's no way I would be able to tell. I would have to go up close, hold the watch, and search for the deformities and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So if you're just wearing it out in public, I'd just be like, oh wow, that guy has a Hulk on, or man, or a Submariner, or whatever. They're that good. It's just so crazy.
Speaking of that, man, I've got something, and you've probably seen them in YouTube videos. But I'll shoot you a link in email. But I got and I kind of went out on a limb. I was redoing my studio, and I wanted I had a little cheap wall clock up there, and I was like, I've seen this clock in several people's videos. It's a Rolex Submariner wall clock.
I saw that on your. It's on the back of your wall, right, adjacent to where you sit.
Dude, let me tell you. And I'll shoot you a link in email to where I got it. But it was kind of when I got the first one out of the box. I put it out, and then I put the AA battery in, and it wouldn't tick, and it wouldn't tick because the hands were hitting each other. the two hands were hitting.
Oh, that's funny.
But long story short, it looked good otherwise. And, I sent an email to the place I got it, and, I was nice about it. I didn't spend hardly anything for it. But
Right.
I said, yeah, this doesn't work. And they said, well, try this, try that. Long story short, they were so nice. I mean, the customer service is through the roof. And they said, well, let us send you. So they sent me from China a replacement component. Basically, all I had to do is unscrew 3 screws, put the new watch face and hands in there, and screw it back together and line up the the bezel, and it works like a champ, and it sweeps, and it just uses a AA battery.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, and the date function works.
Wow.
And
that is cool.
It is cool, and they've got all the different varieties, and you can get the if you want to add the Cyclops, you can. I didn't do that. It's just eye candy for the wall. It's functional because I can look over to my left and I can see what time it is. But I just thought you being a collector, it's something you might like. So I'll shoot you a link to that website. I mean they're good.
Yeah, that'd be great. I saw that. I got a kick out of it. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah, and it really does look good. It's dimensional. It sticks about an inch or so off of the wall. But yeah, man. So what else is going on? Any you got your eyes on anything else, or just the Batgirl, the most recent?
Yeah. Well, I told when I picked up the Batgirl, I said, I heard that Rolex is remaking the Submariner.
Yes.
That's just a rumor.
September.
I said, if that's true, which the ADs will deny it. I said, if that's true, then I want that. So I want to be on the wait list, and I want to be one of the first ones to get it, because I've already bought so many watches from you, and I feel like, hey, I'm pretty young. If you play your cards right, like, I will be buying more and more and more throughout my lifetime. You should be working with me here. And they're, I wait about 6 months per watch, it seems like.
Well, what I'm wondering about the new Submariner, I think there's a lot of the consensus that I've heard is that it's probably going to be a stainless with the blue bezel, basically the Smurf. What have you heard?
I haven't gone in depth. I watched one video and I heard they were remaking it. I didn't get into the specifics. I didn't know anything about it. I just would like it because it's a new model, to have it.
Well, and I've also heard, and I doubt this would happen, but if it did, it could really spike. I've heard that they may discontinue the no date, which that doesn't make sense, but I've heard rumors of that.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. So that'd be good for us if that happened.
Yeah. Well, man.
But one thing, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
One of the things that I wish I would have bought when I had the chance, which I did have the chance to buy one, was the black GMT with the
green.
With the green, yeah. And that got discontinued. I love that watch, and I'm just like, it seems like it's always in this AD, so I might as well just wait.
Well, and it's funny you said that about the
Then they
GMT with the green
discontinued it.
hand because, see, when I got the sub 114060, that was the only other piece. Because, like I said, they had the Hulk, they had the Batman. I wasn't really into those two. I mean, had I known where they were going to go in the future, not that I flip them anyway, but had I known where they were going to go price wise in the future, I probably would have bought one of those for more of an investment type item as well. But I was seriously torn between the no date and the GMT with the green hand and the the person in the AD. And yeah, this is about to be discontinued. But listening to Archibald's advice, never trust what the AD tells you. They're trying to push you into something that they want to unload.
Right.
But it actually got discontinued, and if I was a flipper, that would have been a tremendous investment if I'd bought that instead of the no date. But I just bought something to keep. I mean, I'm a one Rolex guy. I've got the the sub no date, and then I decided when I got this 112 Pam in St. Martin, I buy all my watches in the Caribbean. But when I bought this, I was torn between this and the Milgauss, and that was before the recent price hike with the stainless sports. So I could have gotten the Milgauss within pennies of what I paid for the PAM 112. And had I bought the Milgauss when I bought the PAM 112, dude, if I was a flipper, I could have made huge gains off of the Milgauss if I wanted to.
Yeah, I've never really been a huge fan of the Panerais. I respect them. I think they look good. They just don't fit my style.
Have you seen one in person?
So, yeah, I have. Yeah.
Really?
I've had a chance to buy a couple of used ones. Yeah, like I said, they're nice watches. They just don't fit me. The sports model Rolexes fit me pretty well. At least I think so. And then I like the Breitling Navitimers. I have a Breitling Navitimer as well.
Yeah, I like those
that was
a
the
lot.
First watch I ever bought, actually.
Actually, it's funny you said Breitling Navitimer because, my first watch was the 300M Omega. And then I bought, in 2009, I bought my second watch, which was the Breitling Super Avenger. But when I bought it, I was torn between it and the Navitimer, and I was stupid at the time. And actually, that Super Avenger's done really well. But I didn't buy the Navitimer because of the water resistance. and I was an idiot. The Super Avenger is not water resistant anyway, because at the time I was like, well, I'm looking at the water resistance rating on the piece, and in reality, it's not something you would swim with because it's a chronograph. You should never swim with a chronograph. And
no, it's a pilot's watch.
Yeah, so I should have gotten the Navitimer when I got like most anything else, like a core reference, Breitling Navitimer, Omega, Speedmaster, those core references, they've gone through the roof. I could have gotten a Navitimer for a super good deal back in 2009.
Do you know the website called Watch Patrol?
I've never seen that. I'm gonna type it in right now. What is it?
Oh, so it's just they have all these resellers that sell these watches. So any watch you're looking for, just type it in on Watch Patrol, and you'll have an amalgamation of people just selling. So I always check that website to kind of look at the current market for watches and what they're selling for and stuff like that. And every once in a while, you'll see a good deal, and you can see the history of the seller, and if it comes with insurance and this and that. So if you're gonna go buy used, that's a good website to check out.
That's super cool. I've looked. I've used Chrono 24, and that was from AC3 had mentioned it a while back. But I've never bought pre-owned.
Nope, me neither.
And
I just don't trust it.
I don't trust it because it's like, and I don't even buy cars pre-owned because it's like you're buying it, you're buying someone else's problems.
See, yeah, exactly.
And it's just kind of, but I do use it for a reference because what I can do, and again, the way I buy watches, and like I said, I buy them all in the Caribbean. But the way I do it, I go on Chrono 24 so I can get a good feel for, price low to high of what they're going in new condition, price low to high what they're going in pre-owned condition. And, then when I go into the AD, an AD is never going to, you're probably never going to get an AD to the level of, buying from gray market, but you can get pretty close if you know how to negotiate. and you're out of,
Oh,
and, and you're in an AD in the Caribbean. Because like my however you say it, JJ LeCoute Master Control, that was a piece that I bought. Really that's the only dress watch that I've got in my rotation, and I bought that.
I like that watch.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, it's I think it was in the movie Eastern Promises on the stainless. I got it on stainless instead of on the strap, which is kind of less common.
Right.
But when I bought that, I got a steal of a deal, and that was from the AD. And I'm saying I got a steal of a deal because I was comparing it to Chrono 24, and but what I found with that, if you're going to be in a destination, and again Caribbean, I think you can get the best deals. If you're going to be down there and you reach out to that dealer ahead of time so they know you're serious, and just kind of get a feel for what they have in stock, and more than likely if they know you're coming on a certain date, if it's something they can get on hand and have in the store for you, they'll probably have it there. So,
where do you recommend to go for the Caribbean?
Well, the best deals that I get are in St. Thomas and the USVI, Charlotte Amalie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I bought a few pieces in Charlotte Amalie, also in St. Martin and Phillipsburg. I've gotten. Well, that's where I bought this Panerai. Was in Phillipsburg and St. Martin. Some places I would not recommend. Bermuda is sky high, and that's not really in the Caribbean. It's out in the Atlantic Ocean. I would not buy a watch in Bermuda. I would not buy one in Jamaica. St. Kitts had some decent deals, but only if you're looking for kind of the oddball things. I bought my Ulysse Nardin in St. Kitts. But the other brands, there weren't really any good deals there. You've kind of got to know, what you're in the market for. And I mean, I would say for Rolex, the best place to buy Rolex is Grand Cayman. That's where I bought my Submariner.
I know St. Kitts has a medical school there, don't they?
What's that now? You kind of cut out on me.
Oh, no, I was saying St. Kitts, I think, has that island.
St. Kitts has what? You broke up.
Oh.
You there?
You able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You said St. Kitts has what?
A medical school.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, man. Since you're going to medical,
looking at that way back in the day.
Dude, go down there and do that, man. That's a cool place.
Well, it's too late for that now, but the problem with the Caribbean medical schools is they have a bad rap when you apply for residency, because it's just slightly easier to get into those medical schools. So the problem is if you're dedicated to being a good student in medical school, you'll do fine. But a lot of the people that want to be doctors for the wrong reasons. So they get into these medical schools that accept them, and they're not ready to work as hard as they need to work, and then they fail out.
Ah, gotcha.
So that's why the Caribbean schools have a worse rep, because there's a lot more of these types of people that go there that aren't really ready for that grind. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I tell you, it was packed out though. When my wife and I went out to dinner, almost everywhere we went, there were med students surrounding us because they were. I mean, that island is full of. Yeah, I mean it's a big. It's apparently a big operation down there.
How'd you like that island?
To be frank, I enjoyed it. We were there for 9 nights. We rented a house in Basse-Terre, which is the capital city of St. Kitts. We took a ferry over. We ferried our car over to Nevis, which is the neighboring island. And at the time, Nevis had the Four Seasons Nevis with a golf course and tennis courts. It was a really nice resort over there. So we went through that and went to Botanical Gardens on Nevis. But St. Kitts, out of all the islands, man, it didn't have that many swimmable beaches, which was kind of unusual. You think of an island, you think you can pretty much go anywhere and get soft sand. No, I mean it's fun. I mean, I liked it there, but it's not. I would go to St. John any day. I mean, let's put it that way. St. John is awesome because it's mostly a national park.
Now, do they have any ADs there?
In St. Kitts?
St. John.
Well, they do, but no. So here's the thing. St. John and St. Kitts, or St. Thomas and St. Kitts, it's a people ferry or a car ferry between the two, 15, 30-minute ride. If you're going to shop for watches in St. John or St. Thomas, you just need to do St. Thomas. You need to do Charlotte Amalie.
Gotcha.
Because if you do where the cruise ship is, so when you go to St. Thomas, the cruise ship pulls into a little shopping area, right? And that's kind of the shopping area for people that are afraid to explore the island, right? You don't shop there. You shop on the waterfront, which is St. Thomas, Charlotte Amalie. And that's where you're going to get your deals. Although I will say the Rolex authorized dealer on St. Thomas, and it was there when I got married in 2009, and it was full of, that was before the shortage. I mean, it was stocked full of everything, right? Even Daytonas.
Wow.
But, I mean, it was huge. I mean, it was, if you look at Charlotte Amalie, there's this big storefront that says Rolex, and it's a huge bill. I mean, it was just case after case after case. I mean, it was enormous. And they closed that a few years ago, and now it's just a little tiny shop with Rolex and like maybe 10 Tudors. I mean, it's wow. Really shrunk. But if you're looking for other brands, if you're looking for if you're looking for Zenith, if you're looking for Panerai, you're looking for Breitling, Omega, JJ LeCoultre, all of those brands, you're going to find them plentiful in St. Thomas. And you can get some good deals.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to check that out because, all right, I need to go on vacation here soon. So that'd be good to get a watch while I'm down there. Now, do you think that they have these in stock?
Well, right now, and I can tell you the last time I was down there was 2019 in September. And the Rolex AD in St. Thomas, I looked at Tudor and I almost got it when I bought the Super Ocean Heritage 2 Breitling. Almost got the Tudor North Flag. I don't know if you've seen that, kind of the funky one with the power reserve indicator.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
So I almost got that. They had it on stainless at the Tudor Rolex boutique. But I bought the Super Ocean Heritage 2 from the neighboring store, which is called Little Switzerland. And they've got Omega, they've got Breitling. And then their sister shop has JJ LeCoultre and a few others, Cartier and that sort of stuff. But, yeah, I mean, it's a matter of what you're out for. I mean, if you just want to go on a vacation and get a watch, and if you're looking for Rolex, go to Grand Cayman. You can't beat that. Kirk Freeport, they're awesome. In Georgetown, Grand Cayman.
Check that out.
Yeah, they're great.
Because that's where you made your Rolex video, right?
Yeah, so I bought it at Kirk Freeport, and then I drove down the street and went to 7 Mile Beach, which is on Grand Cayman, and I went swimming with it. And that's where I had that and the Omega Seamaster 300M on that orange rubber strap that I put it on.
And that is an amazing watch. I forgot about that watch. With that orange strap, that watch is beautiful.
Yeah, so I mean that was kind of cool because I gave it, I did it on. I did the two side by side in that video, and then my wife wore the Omega the rest of the week because I bought the Submariner. So that way we both had one on.
Oh, nice. Is she into watches or?
Not at all. I bought her I did buy her she's got an Air King with the Arabics on it. I bought that many years ago. I mean, she likes them, but she's not.
Nice watch.
Yeah, she's not really into it. She just said she wanted something stainless and basic. So, and I bought her that many years ago. I mean, it was not much at all. I mean, I got a really good deal on it. But she's not into watches. She's more into, other stuff. So.
Yeah, for sure. I hear you.
Which is fine because I like watches, and I just said, hey, I'm a watch snob, so that's just part of what I am. It's just a hobby. I mean, it's like anything else. You like something, go for it.
Yeah, exactly. Another thing I was going to ask you before this conversation ends is, What made you get the Audi A4 when you just got that A3?
Oh, great question. So the A3 was great. I didn't want to buy another vehicle. It's like anything else, you know, you get your suggestive ads pop up, and you know, whatever promo, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't even in the market because typically I'll trade normally it's about every 3 years. But, you know, I was looking at Blue Book, and, you know, the depreciation of an Audi versus a BMW or Mercedes it seems to be a little bit more rapid.
Right.
So, you know, I'm thinking about that, and I'm like, you know, I don't even need an RV. I mean, I love the A3. A3 was great. I mean, that thing, great gas mileage, everything. But so I contacted the dealer, and I just said, hey, you know, I looked at your online because it's COVID times. You know, we're in uncertain times. And I just said, you know, this vehicle, you know, this offer, you know, caught my attention. You know, tell me more about it. And they shot me a link to some vehicle. I don't like black cars because they scratch easily and just personal preference. So they sent me a link to a black Audi A4, and I said, you know, I don't have any interest in that, but I really do like, you know, this gray one. It's called Manhattan Gray. And so long story short, you know, just kind of going back and forth on text message and phone call, you know, what can you do, this, that, and the other. And, you know, I was seriously not even interested in trading at all. I was more curious about the incentive they had. And so long story short, kept going back and forth, and I shot them, and I would never say this. I mean, I never, you know, quote numbers or whatever, but I just shot them something ridiculous where, you know, you say it, and it's like, don't expect to get a response because they'll probably be offended, right?
Right.
So I shot them that, and I got the car I wanted for just some ridiculous. So, I mean, it's a no-brainer. I mean, do I want to keep this depreciating asset, or do I want to upgrade to, you know, a little bit more comfortable vehicle, a little bit larger? Now, granted, I liked with the A3, I kind of miss, it has a little bit better fuel economy, and it had sport tires.
And the cappuccino seats.
Yeah, and the cappuccino seats and the sunroof on the top, how it pops up.
Yeah.
On the A4, it's more flat. And also in the A3, I liked how the little display on the dash, you know, goes down, whereas the A4, it just kind of looks like it's awkwardly stuck up there.
Yeah.
But I don't have sport tires on the A4. I've got the, you know, the bigger tires, which are better tread life. And I honestly, man, the gas mileage it's not quite as good, but it's close. And I haven't even taken it on the highway yet, to be honest. Excuse me. So it's a lot more comfortable. You've got less blind spots than I did in the A3. And, you know, there's more room for people in the back. The trunk, I don't think.
How about the technology?
Oh, the technology.
Is that an upgrade?
Big upgrade. Yeah, the screen in the A4 is,
Really?
I think, a 10.4 inch, and it doesn't have the MMI controller in the middle of the two seats. So it's a huge upgrade. Now, it is a touchscreen, which I'm not really a fan of a touchscreen in the car because, you know, I may be eating some fries or whatever and have grease on my fingers. And that's, you know, I wish I still had the MMI because they took that out of the middle of the seats, and now it's just kind of like an awkward hole with a piece in it. It's like, what are you going to put in there? You know, it's kind of like they cut it out, so they had to make it look like it was for something. But I mean, it's a from a comfort level, it's a major upgrade. You know, and like I said, I didn't want to swap. I mean, I love my A3. I had no intentions to trade or whatever another year or so. But, you know, sometimes, you know, being a businessman, you know, you got to look at it and you got to say, well, you know, this is not something I need, you know, and I expressed that. It was more of a curiosity. You know, I'm sitting in bed, you know how it is. You get an offer pop up and you want to inquire about it, but you don't expect them to actually accept your low ball, if that makes sense.
Right.
So now part of me is saying,
I do it all the time.
Yeah, and part of me says now, you know, well, I should have lowballed severely, which I thought I had, and I know I did. I mean, it was a severe lowball, but you know, looking back, I'm like, well, what if you know, and you never can look back. Once a deal's done, a deal's done. Be happy and move on, and I'm happy.
Right.
You know, I've got a I've got a nicer vehicle, and actually this time, full disclosure, I didn't, always buy my vehicles, and this time I was like, you know what, I don't want to deal with that. I like the Audi brand. It's been, I can service it at a Volkswagen dealership. It's a fraction of the cost of servicing at Audi, and I was just very about it. I said, look, I understand your vehicles depreciate rapidly. I love your vehicles, but I've strayed away from the lease because, I like to own my stuff. However, I don't want to own all of this depreciation. Your lease has enticed me, but I'm a cheap guy. I'm not saying I'm cheap. I just said, I like a deal. And if I lease this, is it permissible for me to service outside of your dealership? And they said, sure. So I'm going to use a Volkswagen dealership to service the Audi. And, so not pay the prestige premium that they charge for their services. When you get the same thing, the same Volkswagen mechanic at a Volkswagen dealership or wherever, and meet whatever guidelines they have for oil changes and servicing whatever parts or whatever.
Wow, that sounds like a hell of a deal. Now, the main question is how did they treat you on the trade-in with the A3? Did they give you a good deal on that?
Oh, dude, I nickel and dimed them. So they came back, as expected, lower than Blue Book, right? And,
right.
So I got to pull all my stuff out of my hat. Well, I just put tires on it. Well, how many miles? Oh, they got about 1,000, which was true. I just put new tires. I got these tires on sale right after Christmas on Amazon and kept them for a few months and then put them on, that kind of guy. So I had them stockpiled and put them on. And, so that was my bargaining tool. Long story short, throughout the negotiation, and this was just one afternoon of negotiating through text and phone calls, I got that trade-in value not to Blue Book, but a few grand over. And once I did that, then I said, and then for a lease, they want, whatever X amount for down payment, right? I said, no. Right. I said, I'm not going to put anything down. I said, wow. and I hit them up. Now, granted, the day that I got this was the last day of their, it trickles down from Audi USA or whatever, their special promo, finance, lease offers or whatever, and it was valid through that date. So when I was chatting with this guy, I said, now what time does your dealership close? It was one of those deals. So it was last minute. They were trying to meet their sales quotas.
Right.
And I just said, and I said, oh, and he did that. Well, let me talk to my sales manager. The sales manager calls me and, he says, does that dance, how all that goes. And I said, no, I said, I love my A3. I said, I don't want to let go of it, this, that, and the other. And then the salesperson called back, long story short, then they're, oh, okay. Well, actually I talked to the sales manager. It's a deal. And I said, now you're going to have to deliver it. So
wow.
Listen to this, man. This is crazy. So I got all that, nickel and dime the heck out of them, right? And then I'm like, now if this is going to work, you're going to need to deliver it. I said, I'm in no rush. You take your time. Just let me know the day. And they delivered it. They picked up my A3 trade-in. And I said, I'll have everything out of it. I did. I followed through with my commitment. I had everything out. I had the second key in the trunk, the unused carpet mats, because when I got that one, I got the rubber mats. And they swapped it out. I spent about 15 minutes signing papers. And they said, do you want the technology tour or whatever? I said, no. I said, I don't have time. They drove off in the A3, and there I am with my A4.
Wow.
It's called Audi at your door. Audi at your door is what it was called.
Yeah, well, they don't do that where I'm from. These dealers don't like to bargain. Even in COVID, I've tried. It's insane. Maybe I'm just bad at bargaining cars, but
well, it's timing, man.
I've never tried with Audi.
It's timing. Yeah, you've got to hit them up on that the day before the last day of that promotional offer. About it from this perspective, those people, that's their job. I mean, they're there to sell, but they're also there to advance themselves within that company. So if their sales numbers are than others, then they're deemed less of an asset for the company. So if you can hit them up on the last day or the day before, and you can give that salesperson another sale, that helps them. So they're more inclined to help you to get the deal you want.
Now, I always thought, okay, well, if you're going to make money at the price that I want to pay, then why wouldn't you make the deal, then take the risk of not selling the vehicle at all? Because if you sell at a lower price but still make profit, sell in more volume, then you still make that same net profit at the end of the year. You're just selling more cars, which is good too, because then you have more Audis on the road, and that's free marketing.
It is, and that's why that last day.
And 80% of, they say, I don't know if this is true, 80% of what they make is from service. So, I mean, they should be just trying to get the cars out to people. If they're making a profit, get rid of it, and then make your money on the service like you do. I mean, that's how I would think. I don't know if they have a system that they think that works better, which maybe they do, but that's how I think as a buyer.
Now, have you looked? You had mentioned shopping, and have you looked in the past few weeks?
I haven't talked to a dealer specifically. I'm actually in the midst of buying a vehicle right now. You know, I'm just for the right deal.
What are you considering?
So I used to have a Cadillac CTSV, one with the 6.2 liter supercharged, all that fancy stuff, and I really liked that car. I got rid of it and bought a GMC Denali HP pickup truck.
Yeah.
And drove that. Well, now I want to get back into the kind of the faster, more luxury car. So I was looking at either the Cadillac CTSV, a Nissan GTR, or the Audi S5.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
The 2018. That's the 4-door, not the coupe.
You're not now the S series, the S or the RS. You're not going to bargain with them like you would with the, with the standards. So if you're looking at the S or the RS, it's going to be hard to get a deal. I think the S5, not the Sportback, but the 4-door, like you were saying. I think low 60s is probably about the best you're going to do with that.
Well, I've seen they have them where I'm from for low 40s with 20,000 miles on them with the red seats and everything.
Oh, so you're looking for the pre-owned.
Yeah, I mean, with me, it's like as long as it's still the certified pre-owned, fine, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm still pretty young. I'm still grinding in school. I have money in stocks, but I like to save that money. I don't want to be blowing all my money.
Yeah, an S5, man, that's a heck of a car for 27, though. I mean, if you can do it, man, do it. I mean, I don't know if you're married or whatever, but that's a way to get the ladies.
No, I truly can say that I do this stuff for personal preference. When I have a nice vehicle, it puts me in a certain mindset. I think differently. I want to dress differently. I want to act differently, and it all is analogous to what I want to be. So, yeah, I'm spending so much money a month to buy this vehicle, but I look at it as an investment because it makes me, it seems maybe shallow to say, but it makes me work harder because it's kind of like the dress for the job you want, not the job you have type of mentality. And
you know, it's funny you said that, dress for the job you want, not the job you have. In today's world, and you're an exception to the rule, that's the mentality that I've always followed. And I mean, in today's world, it's a lot less mainstream to have that mentality today. So you're definitely of the minority, making that statement you just made. But I mean, that's so true. I mean, you gotta, and see, I'm the same way. I mean, I've been, I'm thankful of what I've achieved so far. By 40, my goal was to be a multimillionaire. I'm not a multimillionaire yet, but I'm getting close. And it's just a matter
there you go.
of persistence. You gotta get everything. I mean, there's so many people that, kind of a one-hit wonder, whatever venture it may be, they come across that and they just go crazy. They don't know how to restrain themselves. You got to look at it. It's like, okay, well, you want to have something that makes you feel better, makes you push harder, like you were just saying, but, don't go ridiculous with it, I mean, you gotta,
Yeah, exactly.
and that's kind of where I am. I mean, I don't, number one, I don't like to show off, but I do like nice things.
No.
And,
Yeah, exactly.
and I don't, I mean, I could have gone out and bought, whatever car on the lot, but I bought what I bought because I like it. It's nice. It's comfortable, and, it makes me feel good, and it keeps me motivated, throughout all my business pursuits. So you got your head on your shoulders, man. And I mean, that's so important. You have no idea.
Well, I appreciate that. Just trying to, I mean, I get it from influences like you and other people in my life. So how I am is an amalgamation of many other people that have given me this insight. Everyone, I think when you're younger, you look at someone that's older and you're like, man, I could never get there. But you don't realize until you're older and you start your journey that you get there by so much help from other people.
Well, you get people, one of the best things I remember, and this was someone that's highly influential in my, throughout my professional career, they always said perception's reality. And that's such a true statement,
Percent.
Yeah, I mean, what you project visually, verbally, whatever. I mean, that is perceived as the truth, and it's something that I found, and this to me also is, when you go on vacations, I've had the opportunity to go to a lot of Caribbean destinations frequently, but I've always got to remember, I'm not doing that just for pleasure. It's business, man. But when I'm on the beach and I see this mega yacht go by, I don't look at that mega yacht and say, oh, well, I could never have that. I could never do that. I look at that yacht and I say, okay, that's going to be me looking back at shore in a few years, after I've successfully implemented, all these business strategies. That's how I look at it. And it's not that I want to boast, but it's that I want to have I'm one of these guys I like to visualize. And if in my mind I can say, okay, this is what I'm working towards. And even if I fall short, let's say I don't become a 10, 20 plus millionaire. But let's say I just make 10 million, so be it. It's not the money, it's the freedom. And that's what I'm after, is the freedom. And that's what I've always been after. But enjoying the journey along the way,
Exactly. That's exactly how I view my life. It's all about perception, and it's not all going to be linear. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs, but if you